Hey y'all, so today, finally, doing my wedding Q&A. A while ago, like a month ago, I did ask me something or whatever on Instagram, like one of those, and I got a lot of wedding questions, but I didn't answer the non-related wedding questions last month. But finally, that means that if I'm filming this, I have answers to the questions, because in the beginning, if you've ever planned a wedding or if you're engaged or you've ever helped someone or know someone, it is a little bit harder than expected, which I knew it was gonna be, but yeah. So finally I have answers to the questions. Okay, so a lot of people asked the same type of questions, which is good. That means there's less questions where how did I meet my fiance Bobby? We met when I was a freshman in high school and he was a sophomore. We met in Spanish class and we started dating when I was a sophomore and he was a junior in October. And that is how we met. And we've been dating since then, so that's like over 5 years. A lot of people asked where I'm getting married, and we are gonna get married in Tacoma area, close to where we live, kind of. Tacoma, Seattle area. I don't know if people know what Tacoma is, but it's near Seattle-ish. And also, what is the date? August 4th. That is the date. And it's also really sweet because we were having a really hard time deciding. Bobby didn't really care, but he does have a lot of friends that are going to play basketball overseas, and then we have family that live in other states, so it was just like so hard to try to like imagine the best date. Really sweet. It's actually Bobby's grandpa, who's also named John Robert Moorhead, but goes by Bobby. That's where he got his name. He's named after his grandpa. And he got married on August 4th. So that's really sweet that it's on their anniversary, and it made like picking a little bit easier, and it worked out for everyone. What theme do you have in mind for your wedding? Venue that I'm using is very woodsy, and you might have seen it in a video, but it's very woodsy and it has like a picnic shelter nook thing. My dream would have been to get married like by a lake in a campy area. Not because I'm like the most outdoorsy like campy person, just because I like that look, but I mean I do love camping anyway. Besides the point. I really would have loved that, but this is more convenient, cheaper. Those are like two huge things. Very eclectic, or am I eclectic? My style's eclectic. I don't know. I like a mix of things. I like vintage, I like modern, not too modern. I like whimsical, boho. This is like wedding style. And maybe my personal style. I don't really know what my personal style is. It's kind of just like developed into something, I don't know. But for the wedding, I want a bunch of different eclectic things. If you saw my most recent thrift with me, I showed y'all some of the stuff, so it's just gonna be a lot of natural type of things. And the theme for the wedding, I wanted it to feel like a family barbecue. We're not having barbecue for dinner, but I wanted it to feel like relaxed and fun, because I just have these memories of when I lived in Texas when I was little, and we'd go to like crawfish boils. If you grew up in the South, you kind of probably know what that is, or you've been to one. But yeah, so I just remember going to those and like family picnics, or just like family barbecues in general, and those are so fun, and it makes me, I just want it to feel cozy and like a family get together. I don't want it to be elegant. Well, I do want it to be elegant, but more relaxed and just like a fun celebration, like a family party. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for, but also I do want it to look elegant, but also family picnic. I don't know how to explain that. Like milk glass, amber glass, brass candlesticks, brass decorating. Did I say that first? No, I don't think I did. Wood, just like natural looking things, a lot of greenery, and just pretty flowers. I am obsessed with watching floral arrangement videos on YouTube. Mahesh is like, whoa, I watch that so much. And so I just want a bunch of flowers, and I wouldn't say boho, but maybe boho, like crochet tablecloth things. Not country chic, but yeah. Where are you and Bobby going to live when you get married? So it depends on where he gets a job. I personally would rather live closer to my family in Washington, but Bobby loves it here, and I do really like it here in Montana. So it's kind of looking like we might end up here in Montana for a little bit. At this point, it just kind of depends on jobs and what the opportunities are, and he has a few prospective opportunities. did you and Bobby talk about getting married, or was it a complete surprise? So no, I knew it was coming soon. We had talked about it a lot, not a lot, but we would bring it up. I don't even remember like the first time we ever talked about it. It was probably, I mean, when we were started dating, we both kind of, I was like 15 and he was 16. So we weren't like, oh, we're gonna get married, but, and like I wouldn't date someone unless I thought that I potentially could marry them. And so going into that was kind of the thing. And it wasn't until after my freshman year of college, we had a rough patch. And after we decided we wanted to be together and that was the goal, it like changed everything, and it was the best thing that ever happened to us, but also it was like hard. And we started talking about it. Like that kind of brought it up, is like, we want to be together forever. So it was probably after my freshman year of college, we started talking about it, and yeah. And so I knew the proposal was coming because at that point, after my freshman year, it's only like 3 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but I knew it was gonna happen soonish. And we looked at rings this year, or like this school year, so beginning August or whatever. And so I knew it was coming. I didn't know when, but I kind of was like, okay. We went to Paris in August and I was like, this would be a great time to propose. But yeah, so it all happened perfectly and it was great. So how excited are you for the wedding? So stinking excited. Like, I have been waiting for this. I love party planning. I don't plan that many parties, but I love decorating, and I love just visually putting things together and creating things, and I just knew this was gonna be the time. One, obviously I'm getting married to Bobby, who I'm just like so excited to spend every second with, not every second, but to be with forever, and like grow old together and have kids together. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that. But for the wedding, I'm so excited to just plan stuff and put stuff together. I like being creative. So I just knew this was gonna be like a creative DIY thrifting time for my wedding. So I'm very excited about that. And how many kids do you want? I want like 4 or 5. Bobby wants 3. I come from a family of 3. Bobby comes from a family of 4, like kids. And yeah, so we'll kind of see. It just will depend. Yeah, maybe we'll adopt, who knows, honestly. Got a lot of questions that is kind of really personal, but are you waiting until marriage? Yes. What are keys to keeping such a long relationship? How do you keep it fun? So you kind of, especially dating young, I feel like it's interesting because I'm like, I don't know why we stayed together, honestly. I mean, obviously it was in the Lord's plan, and I'm like, if we would have met during this time in our lives, I think we would have still ended up together. But also Bobby like helped me be who I am, which in the like kind of made me nervous. Like my freshman year of college, I was like, oh my gosh, literally I'd be so different if I didn't date Bobby. But that's kind of what happens when you're with someone, like they make you a better person, and that's kind of what happened. And yeah, keeping it fun, that was really off topic, but keeping it fun, I would say just remember that nothing's that serious. Like, I wish I wouldn't have fought over things, but we did. But now I'm like, okay, that's so dumb. Like, just have fun with it. Bobby likes to joke a lot, and I took a long time to adjust to that because I just was really sensitive. I'm still sensitive, so sensitive and emotional, and so it's like when he would joke, I'd be like, oh my gosh. But now it's fun and it's funny, and yeah. So just be open to that and don't feel like you need to fight about everything. Like, oh my gosh, you ditched me. Okay, it's not that serious. Plans change. We just gotta get over it. Thoughts on marrying young? So I'm 21, Bobby's 22, and I'll be 21 and he'll be 22 when we get married. So yeah, we just turned those ages like within 2019. So obviously my thoughts are good because I'm getting married young, but I think it depends on everyone's relationship, because like for us, we obviously dated for over 5 years, and I don't think we would have gotten married younger. I think that now is like the perfect time. So I just think it depends on your relationship. Like some people, if they start dating now, like at 21 and then are dating, and I don't know. I think the really good thing about starting to date really young is like we kind of grew up together, and just learned the little things about each other, and just saw the transformations, and I think it's really sweet and comforting to know that at my worst, Bobby's loved me. And yeah, so my thoughts are, I think it kind of just depends on who you are and like your maturity. I think something important is your maturity with your relationship with God, and making sure that that is really important to you. If that's important to you, make sure it's important to both of you and not just one of you and then one's following along, because that's super unhealthy. And yeah, you really have to be equally yoked. If you want to read a book, Loveology by John Mark Comer is one of my favorites. And if you're in a relationship but you like love God, have a relationship with God, but your significant other doesn't, or does and you don't, I think that's a great book to read, because it gives you insight on both sides and it really shows you how important it is to be equally yoked. And like, it talks about sex, dating, marriage, all of it. Y'all should read it. But my thoughts are good on marrying young. I think it just depends on the people. And I wouldn't say if you've dated for a year and you're 20 and 21, like if my friend did that, I would be like, ooh. I mean, that's obviously personal, but they would have to be so stinking good. That's not my place to say, I don't want to say that, but like looking in, I think it looks interesting when you're young, especially if you've only been dating for like a couple months or a year. Sometimes you just know and you know? So, hope that made sense. I don't want to like offend anyone, but that's just kind of like my personal thing about it. I feel like I've always wanted to get married young, and I always imagined myself being young, so I don't know. I don't know if I answered that question. And how did you know he was the one? I feel like I kind of just answered that, and I just, one, love, like knowing at your worst that they love you and support you and are there for you how you need to be. They push you and teach you how to handle things, and you push them too, obviously. You have these same morals, standards, things that are really important to you are important to them. Like I said, relationship with God and making sure you're equally yoked. Yeah, those are like the things that I know that matched up for us and that were important to me. And also just like, you know when you know, and people always say that, but also you make a choice to make it work, and you choose to love someone. You make that commitment to each other and you're committed to each other, and I think you can make it work. I don't know if I'm making sense at all. Am I? I don't know. So those are all the questions, but generally how it's going is good. It's kind of funny. Let me know if y'all have felt this way, if you've been engaged and been planning a wedding, or if you are right now. Let me know down below, because it's a very interesting time. Like, I've never been happier. It's been such a happy time. I just feel like I'm in my element, so to say. I don't really know, but it feels like that, and it feels good, and I'm so excited. And there's just so many exciting things about like planning a wedding, getting married. But it has also been the loneliest time of my life, which is really weird. It's been really happy, but I've been so lonely, and I don't know if it's because extra emotions, because you're getting married, like that's a huge, or I'm getting married, you might be too. That's a huge thing, huge commitment. It's so special and so, oh my gosh, like it's like kind of overwhelming. None of my friends are really in the same position, like none of my close friends. It's really lonely to feel misunderstood, and for me, I love feeling understood, and I love being able to talk to people about things, and I just want, and I also don't like being a burden, and I feel like also there's so much to be done and I want people to help me, but I hate asking for help. This is just a spiel. And also I just, like at this time in my life, it's just interesting. I feel like I'm in between of like where I'm living. I live in Washington but come back to Montana, vice versa, like it's split in half. And it's just lonely. So if this was, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but people might have not made it to this point, so if you did, thanks for listening. But yeah, so it's just kind of weird. It's like a lonely time, but a happy time. And I feel like if you've been engaged before, maybe you felt the way too, because my mom even said like that's pretty normal because none of your friends are going through it. Not a lot of them have. Like Bobby's sister has, and so that's been really nice just to have like people's opinions and be able to talk to people. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little update. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have more questions, I will try to answer them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things that I never say, and I'm gonna try to remember to say them because I don't even know if that makes a difference. But anyway, I really hope y'all enjoyed this, and if you're engaged or getting married, I guess if you're getting married, you're probably engaged, but congratulations. And I want to film way more videos like cheap wedding dresses, wedding DIYs, that kind of thing. It's just been busy, but now I finally have answers to things, so it's really exciting and I'm so happy. So yes, thanks for watching and I'll see y'all in my next video.